That plugs into here. You don't have this.
Yeah, I need to pull.
Hello and welcome to Younger Gymnasium in beautiful Haverford, Pennsylvania. I am Tommy Toole here with Haverford Sports Media, joined by my great friend, Brandon McNichol. And on this Saturday night, we're giving you some boys high school varsity basketball, and it should be a good one here between the visiting Great Valley Patriots and your own Haverford Fords. Brendan, how are we doing tonight?
I'm doing fabulous. I'm very excited for this Saturday night hoops.
Little Saturday night matinee here between these two clubs here. These two teams, a little history. These two teams did face off last season, almost a year ago to the day, or I think it's about 6 days away from being a year ago to the date where these teams played each other. And we got a Nick Colucci buzzer beater in overtime for a final score of 63-62 for the Fords to top the Great Valley Patriots in Malvern.
Yeah, and Tommy, we saw, obviously, 2 days ago, we called the Lower Marion game, and we had a repeat of the year prior, a very exciting game, and I hope to see something similar tonight.
Absolutely here. As we are going to take a short break, we apologize for getting on late with the technical difficulties, but we will still be live. We have the starting lineups and the national anthem. For Haverford Sports Media, we will be back shortly. Well, Brandon, if you don't have at least a little bit of adrenaline running through your veins, you might have to check your pulse, my friend.
Tommy, I'm feeling great. Very excited for tonight. And let's talk about the approach of both teams tonight. So, Great Valley, it's kind of similar size-wise to Haverford, which is good for them. But the one thing that they do have is two true big men in number 14, Jack Woodward, and number 15, Jackson Ray. So those are two big men that they normally roll out, and it's going to be interesting to see how the Fords would normally rolls out 4 guards, 1 center, with Tommy Wright being their main big guy, how they approach having to play 2 big men.
It will be interesting to see how Tommy Wright handles these little bit longer big men. Of course, didn't really look like Lower Merion had too much size advantage on the Fords. But, I mean, Tommy Wright's been able to hold his own against much bigger opponents.
And excuse me, they're only rolling out the 1 big guy for now, number 15, Ray.
So we are underway here in Younger Gymnasium. Wright and Ray to take the tip, and it'll go to the Fords. Bright catches the tip to get it started, and right now he's going to man the offense. He's going to go and give it to Gannon. He's going to dish it over to Wiener, over to Wright. Back to Bright here in front of the Patriot bench to a cutting Seidman. Barely able to catch that pass now. Goes baseline. Jumper. Doesn't get to go. Rebound by Ray, and the Patriots are going to slow this down here for their first offensive possession of the night.
So, Tommy, these two teams both have similar offensive formations. They're both going to run all 4 guards out on the three-point line and going to have their center in the middle. Just Great Valley likes to run their offense a little bit more in the paint through their center, number 15, Jackson Ray.
So it'll be interesting here as we have Hedge had the ball there. They gave it down to the corner. They're looking. Ray sets a screen. Little pick and roll action here. Giving over to McDaniel. Now over to Ray. He's going to go to the post on Wright, and he gets his easy layup. And the first points are scored tonight. Patriots take a 2-0 lead really quick. And
Tommy, they also like to run a full court press a lot. They didn't really get into it right there, but we will see that tonight.
We really have not seen Seidman become the primary ball handler in the first 2 possessions here. It's been number 3, Gorman Bright. So he gives it over to Wright. Cutting Seidman in, and 1! Googie Seidman caught Markowski looking, back to his head. Next thing you know, Googie Seidman on the line here for an and 1 opportunity.
Yeah, and Tom, we saw that a lot. That's the exact same play in the Lower Merion game. Whether any of the guards saw the back of their defender's head, cut to the basket, and got the layup.
Seidman's first shot from the charity strike tonight goes through just like silk, and the Fords will take a 3-2 lead here with 6.5 left as the Patriots start out here. And that will be Markowski's first foul of the game here, something to just take interest in as this game progresses. So now we're going to call a 10-second violation here, and the Fords will get the ball. Pranav Hedge had the ball a little too long in the Patriots side of the court. That'll give the Fords another possession here, another turnover.
Both teams are going to look to press tonight. It looks like Haverford a little more than Great Valley so far from what we've seen, but we've only seen Great Valley have 1 opportunity to show there.
It'll be interesting here for the Fords. They just came off of such a big win here as Bright's mid-range jumper from the line is good. Fords now take a lead of 3. Here's we have Hedge taking it up the court here for the Patriots.
Yeah, and Tommy, already it looks like Coach Keith Heinrichs is trying to get Gorman Bright a little more involved in the offense and ball handling. He had some great points 2 nights ago against Lower Merion, a game-sealing free throw, and but he looks like he's going to get more straight offense tonight.
And you know what? I'll tell you what. Seeing him in gym, besides that, just in the gym, he has a lot of. He has a very good dribbling package for a guard here. As we have Hedge with a 3, no good. Rebound by Wright. Looks like he lost the ball. Going to the corner, Markowski with the steal. He's going to give it back to Hedge here to set up the offense. Over to Markowski in the corner, back to Hedge. They play a little game of catch. Hedge over by half court. Gives it over to Otterbein. Otterbein back to Markowski. Over here, jumper, and it's good. Otterbein got the jumper right by the baseline, and his fader gets to go here. 5 minutes left. 5-4 game here. As now we have Wiener setting up the offense. Calling out a play. Gets a screen from Gannon. Gets the switch that he might want. Drives in. Shot. They're going to say no basket. It was on the floor. And the Fords will retain possession.
And Tommy, last game we saw a lot of Brian Wiener handling the ball. We just saw him in the last possession, and I'm interested to see if it continues to switch it up with Gorman Bright in the first few.
Yep, there is Wright's inbound pass. Went to Seidman at the baseline. Now the Fords are getting set up here. Right looking. Dishes it over to Wiener. Wiener, layup, no good. Rebound by Hedge. And now the Patriots get set up there. Big miss there.
Yeah, that's something they also struggled with against Lower Marion. Just find themselves in double teams that weren't favorable.
There's a corner shot, too much from Otterbein, and the Fords look to run with it here. Here's Wiener on the fast break. Dribble up. They're saying no shot again. Foul on the floor. This looks like it'll be the second foul for Hedge. And that's again right there. It looks like the Fords have found the weak link on the defensive side here. A matchup that they like. They like Wiener dribbling and driving on Pranav Hedge here of Great Valley. Sideman's pass over to Gannon. Top of the key, three. Off the top of the rim. Hedge gets another rebound. Over here, the Fords looking a little off tonight already in the half-court offense.
We saw that. We've seen that so far in all their games. They like to shoot the three-point shot. Sometimes at points they struggle, but as long as they keep staying with it, it will continue to finally go. Great
Valley is forced to take a timeout here. Hedge looked a little distraught with Gorman Bright all over him, giving him some of the work on the defensive end. And that's one thing that this Fords team will always do is they'll play great defense.
Yeah, they play. They're scrappy. That's what they've always been. What Coach Heinrichs preaches. They're not the biggest group. They're not the most athletic group. But what they do is give effort, and they're scrappy.
One thing I will say here is sometimes I was going to allude to it earlier. I mean, the Fords had such a big win against in such a big rivalry game and a big game in itself against Lower Marion that sometimes you want to make sure that you don't have a little bit of a hangover game from the not literally, but like, a little bit of a hangover from such a big win that you feel too good about you start feeling too good about yourself and you feel like some of the stuff that you needed to work on to fix you don't need to anymore because you won such a big game. And it'll come to bite you in a game that right now, like, they should be able to win. And it kind of looks like they're struggling a little bit here early on.
Yeah, especially, opening up Central League play with that big of a win, it's very you want to puff your chest a little bit. But I think Coach Heinrich is going to have to preach to his team that they haven't earned anything yet.
Here's Otterbein gets it, got a screen, his jumper off the back iron, no good. Rebound by Gannon, over to Wiener, pass to Bright. He's going to get the layup, no good. Ray got a piece of it. Rebound again by Hedge, and he's going to bring it up here for the Patriots. Hedge looking over, directing traffic, gives it over to Markowski. Markowski being guarded by Gannon. Markowski dribbling around. They send it around the horn now. Over to McDaniel in the corner. McDaniel gave it over to Ray. Ray's going to take a long shot. Just dribbles away from the basket.
And Tommy, I'll tell you something about all the film I've watched on Ray. He loves those mid-range jumpers from around the elbow, and we just saw that there.
As Sideman's jumper hits off the front of the rim, and once again, Hedge here will take it up for the Patriots. He's going to give it to Ray here at the top of the key. Ray being guarded by Wright. Ray has a couple inches on the Ford's big man, but I don't think it'll really matter. There is a mid-range jumper off the back iron taken by McDaniel, missed. Fords will take it, and it looks like they're going to slow down here. Wright tries to get it, and he's going to be called for the charge. Wiener with the pass. Ray really stood tall there, set his feet, and it'll be a turnover here for the Fords.
Yeah, not too much Tommy Wright can do there. He's a big guy. Takes a while to slow down a freight train, so good play by Ray setting his feet.
Now the Fords will make a couple substitutions here. We have Keith Heinrichs getting into the game and Will Cascarina. Cascarina comes in for Ray. It'll be interesting to see if the Patriots want to go right to Ray with basically the backup big in the game here for the Fords as they're going to start the press here. Great Valley not able to get it over. Cascarina heckling Ray. They're finally able to get it out. And now we have Markowski with it. Sends it over to Otterbein. Otterbein back over to Woodard. Woodard is checked into the game. Now over to Hedge. Hedge passes it off to Otterbein. Over to Markowski. Over to Woodard. Woodard looking, guarded by Seidman. Now Hedge. Heinrichs guarding him, and they're going to call, looks like a blocking foul on Heinrichs. Patriots retain possession. Interesting here how once Tommy Wright exits the game, the Patriots decided to go in with their two bigger guys.
Yeah, no, I think they see the size advantage that they could have. I mean, the supposed guy who subbed in for Tommy Wright was Will Cascarina, and he's obviously shorter than Tommy Wright, so that even gives Ray even more of a size advantage. And now their other big man, Woodard, is miles taller than Googie Seidman. So
There, as we had Brian Wiener trying to come in and pick someone's pocket, just dribbled out of bounds. It'll retain. Possession will retain with the Patriots here as we have Hedge to inbound. Gives it over to Markowski. We'll give it over to Woodard. Give it to Otterbein. Ray was struggling. Looked like we were close to getting a steal there by Wiener. Instead, Cascarina is called for the foul. That'll be his first of the game. Team fouls now evened up at 6. Or my fault. Evened up at 3 apiece. 6 total in the game between the both teams, which is interesting to see because we will soon be talking about the bonus conversation.
yeah,
Here's Hedge gave it over to Otterbein. Now back to Hedge. Hedge looks to drive, kicks it out. 3 off by Markowski. Rebound by Bright, and the Fords look to try to run it here. Wiener looking, dishes it over to Seidman. He thought, drove instead, got a triple team. Over to Wiener in the corner. His 3 off rim. Otterbein with the rebound, and again, the Fords getting a couple open shots here, just not getting the fall early.
yeah, and they're not going to waver from shooting the 3-point ball. That's what they do the best. And you see it right there. The ability of them to drive and then kick it out is something special.
Otterbein's jumper no good. Fords again on the fast break. Seidman driving in his layup, and it's good. Googie Seidman coast to coast gets it to go. Probably would have liked a foul call, but that's besides the point now. Heinrichs guarding up on Hedge with a minute to go in this opening quarter. Patriots might try to hold here for this last shot because there is no shot clock in high school basketball. Wiener tried to force a steal guarding Woodard. Did not happen. Gave it to Otterbein in the corner. Now he's going to dribble out. Gives it over the Hedge. Now to Markowski. Heinrichs guarding Markowski. Markowski looking over to Woodard. Woodard over to Ray. Ray dribbles. Back to Woodard. Over to Otterbein. Now to Markowski. Right here, it's interesting to see how they have the bigs handling up in the top of the key and then maybe trying to drive down to get towards the post. And it really hasn't worked for the Patriots so far.
Yeah, that's something that Ray did a lot in previous games this season and something that he's struggled with so far in this game.
As of now, both teams are undefeated at 2-0 here as Woodard. Looks like the Patriots are really going to hold here for that last shot. Woodard passed it over to Ray. Now over to Hedge. Hedge is going to drive baseline. Kick it over to Woodard. The big man's going to take a corner 3. Too much sauce on that one. Rebound by Otterbein. Putback gets it to go. And at the end of the first quarter, the Fords lead is just 1 with a score of 7-6.
Yeah, and Tommy, I'll tell you what. I mean, Haverford, with how many shots they generated, how many good open looks they generated, should be winning this game by 10 points at this point. But because of their inability to make shots right now, they are only up 1 at the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the Fords do here. So what do the Fords have to do to try to maybe like snap out of this little funk here? What do you think Coach Heinrichs is trying to tell them?
I think they just got to. I think he's telling them keep shoot and yeah, just keep doing your thing. I mean, they're generating the shot opportunities. They're drawing fouls. They're just not finishing at the rim.
Yeah, that'll definitely be something to see here. As I mean, remember last year this was a tight contest up in Malvern. It'll be interesting to see what this second quarter unfolds. But again, the Fords are trying to protect their home. Brendan, I think we have something else about houses, don't we? And before the second quarter starts, McNichol, I'm pretty sure we have something about houses.
Yeah, Tommy, are you looking to buy a new house?
I might be.
Wagner Real Estate will help you find the right home for you and your family. The real estate professionals at Wagner are Havertown locals who have passed down the real estate savvy through 4 generations. Call 610-446-2300 to set up a consultation with Wagner Real Estate today. Thank you to our sponsors at Wagner Real Estate.
Thank you for all you do, Wagner, there, as Ray's corner 3 was again too much. Interesting how Great Valley's having their big men shoot the 3 ball. Wiener with a 3 of his own, off the front of the rim and off the backboard. again, both these teams not getting open shots to fall.
They're continuing to generate looks, and both teams are struggling shooting the rock right now.
Here's we have Hedge again guarded by Seidman. He's going to give it over to Markowski. Markowski in front of the Ford's bench looking for something, gives it back to Hedge. Hedge makes Heinrichs fall. Wright tries to tie him up, and he will. Jump ball, possession error with the Fords. Another turnover for the Patriots.
Big for Haverford. I mean, they generated a lot of turnovers last game against Lower Merion, and I think that's something they want to continue to do. I think one thing that they need to do is try to pickpocket these big guys when they're in the paint. They're very loose with the ball, and they got a lot of length, and they keep the ball away from their body. So possibly generating turnovers through that would help.
Here's we have a cutting Seidman, draws a triple team, looking for the open man. Hedge tried to get the tie-up. Instead will be called again for a foul here, I believe, as the Fords will retain possession here. They're going to pass it on the baseline.
And something Haverford's continuing to struggle with is seeing where a pass is going to lead their teammates. They're passing into what will become triple teams, and they got to start seeing that second level of passing.
Absolutely. Here's Wiener with the inbound. Gives it over to Seidman, and the Fords will get set up here. Seidman drives, looks, kicks it out to Heinrichs, who gives it to Gannon in the corner. Back to Seidman. Seidman looks, drives, pivots, over to Gannon. Out of Wright. Wright's going to take a three. Off the side of the rim. Rebound by Otterbein. And again, I mean, another wide open three here. I mean, this has been for both teams. Another wide open shot, just not being able to fall. Looks like that'll be the story of this game. Now, as we have Otterbein, dishes it over to McDaniel. McDaniel over to Ray. Ray thought about the corner three again. Decides not to. He'll try to dribble. He looks over. He's going to give it to the other big man, Woodard. Now over to Markowski. Markowski to Otterbein. Otterbein back to Markowski. Now to Woodard in front of the Ford's bench. Wiener guarding him, looking to try to heckle him. Wiener gets a forced pass to Otterbein. Now over to Ray. Ray back to Markowski at the top of the key. Now he's going to give it to Woodard in the corner for three. Not getting to go. Rebound by Wright. And Seidman will try to press it up here for the Fords, pressing the issue. Drives, tries to dish it. They're going to call a blocking foul on Otterbein. Seidman, great job of being decisive there, then tried to dish it to the open man, but got the foul call anyway.
And Tommy, when we talk about the Fords on defense right now, I would not be surprised if Coach Heinrich starts having them trap in the corners when the big men get the ball, because we kind of just saw an opportunity for that right there, but nothing really came out of it.
Here's Wright, looks to inbound. There's a lot of physicality. Now they finally spring Wiener. Wiener's going to take a three, and it goes. Brian Wiener from beyond the arc.
And
gets
Tom,
the Fords into double digits.
We saw it in the Lower Merion game. One three-pointer can generate a lot other guys to start making their shots, and it's going to be interesting to see if Brian Wiener can be that spark plug.
Here's it looks like the Fords tried to trap Hedge, and it did not work. Now Ray's going to try to take it. He's going to shoot. And they're going to call a blocking foul on Googie Simon with Ray driving towards the baseline to take that layup. Interesting call there by the official. Looked like Simon pretty much had his feet set like a statue.
I think that might be a gift after the last block foul for Great Valley. I think it might be a tit for tat.
Gotcha. As Bright will check in for Heinrichs now. Here's a forced turnover for the Fords. Calling a jump ball. Wait, my fault. Gannon fell on it again. Jump ball was called. Possession arrow with the Patriots. It will stay Great Valley ball.
Yeah, and Haverford's being scrappy right now. Whenever they see the ball on the court, they are laying out for it and continue to generate some jump ball opportunities for themselves. Yeah,
soon. You know, it'll go their way sooner rather than later. But again, I mean, right there, that was a chance for a turnover maybe if Gannon was able to find somebody fast enough. But then again, there was also a heads-up play by the Patriots there to force a jump ball, knowing where the possession arrow lead. Here's Woodard will give it over to McDaniel. McDaniel over to Ray at the top of the key. Now over to Hedge. Hedge looking. Gives it to Markowski. Markowski to Woodard. They're going to play a game of catch. Markowski gets it back towards the corner. He'll dribble it up. Patriots going around the horn. Now they get to Markowski in the post. He decides not to try to post up right. Back out to Markowski. Over to Hedge. Hedge being guarded by Gannon. Now they're back to McDaniel. Over to Markowski. Back to Woodard. Back to Ray. His jumper doesn't get to go again. Rebound again by Ray. And now Wiener will try to take this up here for the Fords.
And Tommy, this next 4 minutes and 30 seconds are going to be huge to decide how this game goes. Are both offenses going to continue to be stagnant, or is one going to run away with it?
That Brian Wiener air ball 3-point attempt, obviously no good. Again, kind of showing the tale of the story here in this the story here in this first half. Neither team really being able to hit any of their shots so far as the Patriots inbound.
I'll tell you what, Tommy. Jack Raich just checked in for Tommy Wright, and last game we saw Jack Raich be the spark plug, hitting a 3-pointer and getting a big fast break points. So maybe he could be that spark plug for the Fords right now.
Absolutely. Now, as they get McDaniel into the post, they're going to kick it out the hedge. He's going to try to drive, looks over his options, loses the ball. Raich falls on it, calling a jump ball. Possession arrow to the Fords, which means it'll be a Haverford ball. Great job there by Jack Raich.
Yeah. What did I say, Tommy?
Jack Raich looks, as of right now, maybe to be the early season spark plug for these Fords as Seidman will inbound to Gannon. Be interesting to see. Looks like they're going to play a man press here for Great Valley. Gannon taking it up. Dishes it to Raich. Raich looking. Gives it to Seidman. Seidman tries to drive. Draws the double team. Over to Bright. Bright's going to drive. Try to get the layup in. No good. They're going to call a blocking foul. As Raich was reaching up to try to get the layup, they did end up finally calling a blocking foul. And the foul will be on the big man, Jackson Ray, and it looks like Bright will go to the line to shoot too. My fault, it was a shooting foul. Bright's first shot will go.
And Tommy, with 3 minutes left, I mean, Great Valley is entering foul trouble here, almost hitting the bonus.
That's absolutely right here is Bright's second shot from the line off the top of the rim. Rebound by Woodard.
And that's uncharacteristic for Gorman. He normally is a good free throw shooter, and a lot of these players on the Haverford team are.
And just like that, Bright comes back with a stolen ball. Trying not to lose it now. Gives it over to Raich, kicks it over to Seidman. His three way off. Given right to Markowski, who gives it to Otterbein, and he's going to try to press it up. That was an uncharacteristic air ball by Googie Seidman right there. As Otterbein's jumper does not get the fall. Rebound by Raich. Gives it over to Seidman as there's 11-6 with 3:10 left to go in this first half. Seidman looking for the play call. Gets a screen by Raich. Looks to drive. He will. Gets a shooting foul and will go to the line to shoot two here. Good job by Seidman right there to create his own offense.
Yeah, and I think great play by Googie Seidman. I think he needs to share the rock a little more. I think he's trying to do a little too much himself right now. Just take a little bit of the load off of him, especially since he's not hitting his shots currently.
Seidman will go to the line. First foul shot gets to go. The Fords will now be in the bonus. Great Valley now has 17 fouls here with just under 3 minutes to play with 2:59 left in this first half. As Seidman will get ready to take his second shot from the line. And just like that, it falls through. Fords will take a 13-6 lead here as we make some more substitutions. Heinrichs comes in for Seidman, looking to try to add a little bit more defense and give the Ford star some rest here before halftime.
Yeah, I think he just needs to regroup, and I think Coach Heinrich sees that.
Here's they try to trap Ray with Raich. Raich did a pretty good job playing defense, and you see Ray right there clapping into his teammates, telling him that he needs help. Looks like Raich kind of just put him in a little stranglehold there with his defense.
Yeah, put him in a blender. Jack Raich being a little bit of the knight in shining armor right now for the Fords.
Here as Markowski gives it over to Hedge, and Hedge will try to press it up here for the Patriots. He's looking, dishes it down in the post. That shot by McDaniel, way too much on it as Bright's going to try to get a fast break here. Gets it up to Gannon. He's going to kick it out to Heinrichs. Over to Bright. He thought about the three. They'll give it to Wiener. He drives. Heinrichs decides not to shoot. Bright's going to try to drive. He looks. His jumper off the left side of the rim. And again, another missed shot here from both teams. Lots of points left to be on this court right now in this first half.
Yeah, Tommy, it seems to be the story of the night. And I wonder if he'll continue or if somehow something breaks one of the team's ways and they start going on a spree.
So now it looks like we're going to get some more substitutions in here. Looks like they called an off-ball foul on Jack Raich, and his time for right now will be done. He gets substituted. Tommy Wright will come in for him, and it looks like Seidman comes back in for Heinrichs. Now it looks like the Ford's starting five is on the court here. As Hedge will give it over to Otterbein. Now over to Woodard. Now to Ray. His jumper, too much off the back iron. Seidman with the rebound. And it looks like Seidman's going to try to slow down this offense to get him in a rhythm. He's going to get double teamed. Bright's going to drive baseline, feed it over to Gannon in the corner for three, and he drains it. Kevin Gannon, corner three, wide open, finally gives the Fords lead to double digits here with 1:38 left to go in this first half.
And Tommy, with the Ford starting lineup back in, maybe that could get a little bit of a run going for the Fords.
Absolutely here. His Hedge is trying to dribble around Googie Seidman, and he's just trying to lock him down right now. He's going to give it over to Markowski. He's looking, gives it to Otterbein.
And something to be aware of is that Great Valley has not scored a single point in the second quarter so far.
Yeah, I mean, really, they've had a lot of stuff to struggle, a lot of turnovers and a lot of bad looks as Hedges' three rings right off the front, kicks it out to right, and Seidman will take it up here for the Fords. I mean, pretty good defensive showing here by the Fords. As Seidman three just rings out. No good. Less than a minute left here. It is interesting, though. I mean, it really looks like the Fords defense is doing a pretty good job. They're forcing the Patriots to take a lot of bad shots.
Yeah, all the problems right now for the Fords lie in the offensive end.
As we're going to have Woodard's jumper, no good. He's going to get his own board, stripped by Wiener, picked up by Wright. And then an errant pass will give the ball back to the Patriots. Big opportunity to get some more points before the end of the half. Maybe missed here by the Fords.
Yeah, and I think Great Valley is just kind of looking to probably hold this maybe for the last shot. I'm not exactly sure, but I think they want to limit the damage control and try not to do something like this right here.
Seidman picked Hedges' pocket. Bright gets a very quick transition layup, and the Fords now up 12. Hedge forcing the issue, gives it over to Ray. They're going to try to trap him. Does not work. Otterbein will take a shot, and it goes. Otterbein hits a three. Get the Patriots their first points here, and the Fords will try to look to get the last shot of the half here. Seidman tried to drive. He gets picked by Ray. Ray's going to shoot a three for the end of the half. No good. And at the end of this first half, the score will be the Haverford Fords 18 and the Great Valley Patriots 9, as both teams will head into their respective locker rooms. I mean, let's be honest here, Brendan. There's been a lot of missed shots. I mean, both coaches probably are not too happy with their clubs right now on the offensive end. But I mean, if you're the Fords, I mean, the positive that you can come out with this is, hey, we're up and we're almost up by double digits.
Yeah, you have double the points the other team does. So I mean, it's quite uncharacteristic for Haverford to be missing those shots. But Coach Heinrichs does have the spin zone of the fact that they are still up and up by 9 points, which is good in high school basketball at this point. And all they got to do is start hitting the shots. That's what Coach Heinrichs needs to preach right now. They're getting the looks. They just got to hit the shots. That's
all they got to do. It'll be interesting to see what Coach Savage for Great Valley will do in the locker room. Maybe try to have a little speech to try to get his boys locked into this game. I mean, really looks like Great Valley was lost in that first half from the offensive side.
Yeah, I mean, like we just saw, their first points of the second quarter came in the last 30 seconds of the second quarter. So they struggled entirely offensively second quarter, taking really maybe okay shots, but they're still contested. And I think the coach needs to preach shooting a little more, the best shot, not the first shot.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, we talk about best shot, not the first shot. I mean, really, they really aren't getting many great chances at all. So maybe Coach Savage will try to tell his guys maybe the first shot is the best shot now. We'll see, though. Yeah,
but the problem is that they don't need to be taking that first shot because they don't need to be chasing anything right now. Like, they're only down 9. You're plenty within striking distance of Haverford. So it really is you're still in this game. I think that's what he's got to preach right now.
Absolutely. As we will take a short break here for Tommy Toohill and Brendan McNichol. This is Haverford Sports Media. We'll be back shortly. And
Sophia.
welcome back to Younger Gymnasium in Havertown, Pennsylvania. Here as we will bring to you the second half between your Haverford Fords and the visiting Great Valley Patriots. Brendan, we kind of talked about it a lot during the play in the first half, but there was a lot of shots for both teams here that did not get to go. What do you think that both teams need to do to maybe try to get some more offense going?
Regroup, and I think we talked about for Haverford, they're doing a much better job at producing the best shot and producing opening shots versus Great Valley. I think is taking a little more contested shots. But both teams have to keep shooting. I mean, you just got to keep shooting, and everything's going to be okay.
Maybe for Great Valley, I mean, we've seen it happen and work for the Fords a lot. Maybe try to go. Sometimes defense will lead to offense for you, and maybe that's what the Patriots have to try to do. Maybe try to get a steal, get a fast break, get a layup, and then maybe that'll get their team into a rhythm.
Yeah, and that's all. It's a game of runs, Tommy. So you just got to get into that rhythm, and that's the only way you can win a basketball game. So just got to keep hitting those shots. And these are quite uncharacteristic for both teams. I mean, Great Valley scored 64 points in their last game against Phoenixville. So and Haverford scored. I don't even remember.
Scored 61 against Central Bucks West, but I mean they scored 48 against the Lower Marion.
Scored Lower Marion? Yeah, 48. So I mean, these are quite uncharacteristic, and it's going to be interesting to see how they continue to develop. Does this continue to stay a problem, or is the team able to regroup?
Well, we will find out the answer to those questions going into the second half. It'll be big here for the Fords. Maybe they'll try to go 2-0 in defending their house. Again, Brendan, you may have something about the real estate department.
Yeah, and for all you listening at home, I'm sure you're sitting in your own beautiful home, or maybe you're looking for a beautiful home. Wagner Real Estate will help you find the right home for you and your family. The real estate professionals at Wagner are Havertown locals who have passed down the real estate savvy through 4 generations. Call 610-446-2300 to set up a consultation with Wagner Real Estate today.
Thank you, Wagner Real Estate, for all that you do to help us here at Haverford Sports Media. As the Patriots inbound to start the second half, they're going to get right down to the post, right to Ray, and he will get a layup real quick to make the lead 7. Interesting there. Right away, they said, you know what, Ray? Stop taking these shots. As Bright's corner 3 gets to go. The Fords lead is back to 10. But interesting there, Patriots said, Coach Savage said, you know what, Ray? Get in the post and go score in the paint.
Yeah, and throughout their first 2 games, that's what their offense has been run through. It's been run through Ray, hitting those mid-range shots, getting those layups, and I'm sure Great Valley is trying to get back to that in this second half.
As now Ray's going to take a corner 3, way too much on it. Rebound by Gannon. The Fords might try to run here. Wiener looking, gives it back to Gannon. He's going to give it over to Bright. Bright and Gannon play a little game of catch. We're going to see Gannon slow down the offense here. Gannon's pretty patient and pretty good at what he does, being selective. He'll give it back to Seidman. Gets a screen by Wright.
Yeah, Tom, you talk about Kevin Gannon being selective, and I think that's something that this Fords team does very well in not rushing themselves.
Here, as we had a foul call on Jackson Ray, that'll be his 3rd. Interesting to see here, the big man for the Patriots maybe getting in a little bit of foul trouble. As we have Wiener driving, dishes it out to Gannon, top of the key. 3 just off the top of the rim, rebound by Ray. He'll give it to Oderbean, and the Patriots will start in their offense here. Try it. We had Woodard try to get it to a cutting Oderbean, stolen by Seidman. Seidman looking. He's going to drive. Kick it out to Wiener. Wiener looks. He's going to drive himself. Up. No basket, but it should be a shooting foul, and Wiener will go to the line to shoot 2. Interesting there. Gannon was wide open again from beyond the arc, but Wiener decided to just split the defenders and try to take the opportunity himself. And, I mean, he's going to get an opportunity here at the line.
Yeah, sometimes you got to be a little selfish. I think Brian Wiener wanted it to be right there, and I think he wanted to get one to go since he struggled so far tonight.
His first shot from the line is no good, off the back of the rim. By the way, that foul was on Pranav Hedge. That'll be his 2nd of the game. Wiener's 2nd shot will go. Score is 22-11 here. Fords over the Patriots here. Oderbean looking to inbound. Tries to give it to Ray, and he will. Now the Patriots are looking. He's going to pass it back to Oderbean. They're going to call a foul on Gannon. And that'll lead the Patriots to inbound. Interesting call there by the official. It looks like they're a little quick on their whistles to start the second half.
Yeah, in time, they've blown a lot of whistles all night, so I'm not shocked by that, but that's something that you got to adjust to as a player.
Absolutely. Here is Ray. Looked to maybe try to shoot the three. Decides not to. Now he's looking. Gives it over to Woodard. He's going to shoot the corner three, and he's going to get it to go. It looks like Woodard really likes that shot, and he finally got his first one to go of the night. Maybe that'll be kick the Patriots into rhythm here as the score is now 22-14 with 5:50 left in this third quarter as Wiener has the ball for the Fords here. And they're going to be looking over their options. Wiener got a screen from Seidman, gives it over to Bright. His shot gets to go! Gorman Bright coming out of the locker room. Back-to-back threes made for Mr. Bright. Lead back to 11 for the Fords here.
Yeah, and Tommy, that's his third three of the night, so I think the Fords need to keep feeding Gorman Bright because he's got the hot hand.
Absolutely. Here is now they're going to get a screen for Ray. Give it to Hedge. He's going to pull a three. Rims out. He had the matchup they liked. Did not go. Seidman will give it over to Wiener here. He's going to try to run with it. Layup. Doesn't get to go. Contact by Woodard. No foul call. Wiener doesn't like it.
Yeah, and Tommy, we saw him in just that last exchange, a little pick on Gorman Bright, and we saw that Tommy Wright is quite hesitant to leave his guy right now, Ray, and I wonder if that's because they're really afraid of getting a mismatch.
As Ray shot a corner three, really these bigs from Great Valley shooting the corner three. Bright will take another one from beyond the arc, and he hits it! Gorman Bright, 3 straight threes to start the second half, and the Fords lead is now 14. Gorman Bright is going absolutely insane right now, and everyone in Younger Gymnasium is loving it, especially this Fords bench.
Yeah. And you keep feeding him the rock.
I mean, I think you have to. Right now, it looks like he's kind of taken away here with the player of the game, really almost willing this Fords with the offense to have this lead. As Hedge gives it over to Woodard. His shot gets to go. Another three from the big man, Woodard. Knocks the lead back down to 11. Looks like Woodard's finally looking to find his stroke in the corner.
Yeah, and Tommy, this has become a lot more of an offensive game, which is quite exciting because the first half was very defensive heavy.
Simon's pop-up mid-range jumper did not go. Rebounded by the Patriots. And Hedge is looking to get it over. Stolen by Wiener. Might try to run here. Doesn't have the numbers. He might just take it himself. Layup up and in from Wiener. Defense to offense. And the Fords will take a 13-point lead. And there will be a timeout call. Fords bench is loving how this team came out in the second half.
And people talk about having anticipation on defense, and that's what Brian Wiener just did right there. Doing a great job jumping the pass, getting the turnover, and continuing to add on to the Fords run right now.
Absolutely. Just took it himself and said, you know what, I'm going to get the points. And got the layup to go. Beautiful job here. Interesting to see how the Fords, I mean, they had 18 points in the whole first quarter. They have 12 points in the first 5 minutes of this third quarter already.
Yeah, and Tommy, that's a lot thanks to Gorman Bright, who currently has 14 points on the night with three threes in the second half. So, big job for him. And I think that's something that's good about Haverford. I know that they like to shoot the rock a lot from the three-point line, and the good thing is that they have 4 guys who really can shoot the rock, and even a 5th guy, Tommy Wright, can shoot the rock sometimes too. He made a three-pointer in the other night against Lower Marion. But the good thing is that there's always somebody who's able to make shots that night. And I think it's kind of like a share the rock. Whoever's got the hot hand, feed them.
Absolutely. It'll be interesting to see what the Patriots might try to do to slow down Bright, because I'm assuming if you are the Fords, you're going to keep him in the game as long as he's continuing to shoot the ball like he has.
And that would be big. That could open a mismatch for a guy like Googie Seidman or Brian Wiener to maybe get a lesser defender on him.
It'll be interesting to see here as it looks like as the Patriots will inbound here. Again, 3:34 left. The Fords lead 30-17 as the Fords are going to try to force another turnover. They do. Seidman and Bright with the pressure. Looked like Gorman Bright got the layup to go. Lead now up to 15 for the Fords. And they're going to call a foul here. Looks like the foul will be on Brian Wiener. That'll be his first of the game. Right there, defense again, leading the offense. Look at that. I mean, Googie Seidman and Gorman Bright right there kind of working a little trap game, and it worked to perfection.
Yeah, and I think these turnovers that they're generating right now are leading to more offensive baskets, something that they didn't really have in the first half. They weren't able to generate turnovers like they have been this second half and in other games this season.
Quick note here, Will Cascarina has checked in for Tommy Wright, and Will Cascarina will be guarding Jackson Ray. Here's the Patriots look to inbound. They finally break this press, but McDaniel turns it right over to Gannon. They were trying to give it to Woodard in the paint. Did not work. Seidman will take it up here. Really looks like these Patriots can't handle the heat right now from the Fords.
No, that was a unnecessary pass. Just rushing himself, McDaniel, unneeded, and threw it really right to Kevin Gannon. He was covered.
There as Gannon's mid-range jumper right off the front iron as Hedge will take it up here. They'll give it up to Woodard. Woodard up to Ray. Ray's going to try to drive on Cascarina. Can't get it. Can't find that to work. Gives it over to McDaniel. Now Woodard thought about pulling it from around Googie Seidman range. Decided not to. He'll give it over to Hedge. And now there'll be a foul call. Hedge right there got forced to make a bad pass from the Googie Seidman defense. Ray came in, and Will Cascarina ended up having to foul Ray to try to go up and get that ball. And now it looks like we have three, quote-unquote, big men in the game right now for the Patriots. Enter number 21, LaWine Short, as we have Ray getting this mid-range jumper, and it'll go all net. Interesting now. They have a lot of size coming into the game here for the Patriots, maybe trying to emphasize getting into the paint, and then we'll end up kicking it out to the shooters.
Yeah, I think that's something that Coach Savage has adjusted to just because of how split the rebounds have been and putback points have been in this game.
Cutting Seidman on the baseline. Looks like he's going to get the shooting foul. And the Fords will go to shoot two at the line here. Now, the foul was on Tyler Markowski. That'll be his third of the game. Couple of the starters here for this Patriots lineup getting into a little foul trouble here. McNichol.
Yeah, and it's not great for them. Obviously, they haven't really subbed that many guys. I mean, seeing a player like number 21, Short, is different because he hasn't really gotten any time all game. They've really been running the same six guys, so it's not great for their depth off or on their bench.
As Seidman got both shots to fall, lead back up to 15 here as it is 34-19 with 2:12 remaining. Possession arrow is with the Fords. Both teams have three team fouls here, and the Fords again forced a turnover here as Gannon now got the inbound pass.
And Tommy, the Patriots continuing to have mental mistakes, and mental mistakes will kill you.
Absolutely. Here as we have Seidman looking to drive, looks, decides to hit a mid-range, and it goes. Googie Seidman, even with half the team trying to guard him, didn't matter. He said, I'm going to try to do my Kobe Bryant impersonation, and he hit that mid-range pretty well. Here's it looks like the Fords again with a trap, and they get the steal. Cascarina dishes it over to Seidman. He loses the ball. Picked up by Hedge, and now the Patriots might look to run here. Hedge going coast to coast, and his layup is up and in. Big mistake there by the Fords. Had a chance to capitalize again on a Patriot turnover and turned it over themselves.
Yeah, it's tough, especially since they've gotten so many turnovers in these last 2 or 3 minutes here, and for that to go that way isn't happy for Haverford, but they're still generating those turnovers, which they need to do.
Story of this second half, Gorman Bright coming out of the locker room with the hot hand, especially shooting behind the arc. Shooting threes in a row were made, and they're going to call a blocking foul here, and it looks like it'll be on Hedge as he's writhing in pain. We'll have the trainers check on him. Wiener went to drive. Maybe an elbow was caught by accident. We hope everything's okay for him. But, again, we're going to just talk about it here. I mean, like I was starting to allude to earlier, I mean, Gorman Bright really with, his threes coming, it was his three-point shooting coming into the second half out of the locker room really lit a spark in this Fords offense, and it's led to them to score their total points in the first half in this third quarter alone.
Yeah, Tommy, this third quarter has been a story of runs. They talk about in boxing punches and bunches. This has been Gorman Bright shooting in bunches, 3 threes in a matter of 2 minutes, and turnovers in bunches. I mean, Haverford has generated at least 4 turnovers from Patriot mistakes and getting 6 points off of that too.
Yeah, it was pretty big there for the Fords. They got some easy points. And like we talked about, we said maybe Great Valley will try to do it. The Fords ended up doing it themselves. Defense leading to offense, and right there just created grade A opportunities for them to increase their lead. As it's up to 15. Wiener's inbound pass went to Cascarino in the corner, and now we're going to have Markowski fouling Seidman. It's interesting to see here. We're not even out of this third quarter. The Patriots are up to 5 team fouls, and that's Markowski's 4th of the game.
Yeah, and the Patriots are going to continue to foul. I mean, that was an unnecessary foul by Markowski. There's no reason that he needs to be up guarding Googie Seidman at the logo. So, I mean, I think Coach Savage needs to preach to his players that they need to chill out with the unnecessary fouls.
As McDaniel will take out his teammate Markowski. Wiener gave the ball over to Bright. Bright tried to do a layup over the 2 big men. Did not work. Ray got a piece of it. And it looks like Oderbein was trying to get up, and Seidman fouled him. That'll be his 2nd of the game. And here are 51.4 seconds left. The Patriots will have the ball here as the Fords start to press again. They tried to trap Oderbein. It didn't work, but there we go. Another rushed pass here, this time by Ryan McDaniel of Great Valley, forces another turnover for the Fords here. We'll see if they try to hold here for this last shot, but again, defense here, possibly leading to offense here for the Fords.
McDaniel's had multiple passes like that just in this third quarter alone, and that's not what you want to see if you're Great Valley.
Wiener's mid-range shot does not go. Looked to be a little rushed there. Rebound by Ray, given to Otterbein. And we'll see, we got number 2, Zach Stahl in for the Patriots. We'll see what works here. Ray's 3-pointer, no good. Rebound by Wiener. Seidman looks here to kind of take it slow as the Fords will take the last shot here with 6 seconds left in this third quarter. Seidman dishes it out to Wiener. Wiener for 3, and it's good! Back-to-back HSM broadcast. Back-to-back Brian Wiener beating the buzzer at the end of the quarter, and the Fords lead will now be 39-21.
Yeah, big for Haverford. I mean, they got a lot of points in that third quarter, and I'm sure that's a big relief for Coach Heinrichs. I mean, they generated at least 23 points in that third quarter. So, I mean, that's pretty big for them in coming out and not continuing to slouch.
Absolutely. I mean, you got to think about it. They were getting good opportunities from beyond the arc in the first half, and they just weren't getting the fall at all. There was a couple uncharacteristic air balls, one by Wiener, one by Seidman, and I really didn't see that. I saw a lot of three-point shots actually get made, especially, I mean, I know we continue to say it, but it was really influential, and the reason why the Fords offense started to really work out well was Gorman Bright hitting those 3 straight threes in like 2 minutes.
And we did talk about what would change this game, or is the shooting. That's what we talked about. That was the key to this second half for both teams, and Haverford has answered the bell.
They really have here, as we have both teams talking it over here in their respective huddles. It'll be interesting. What is Coach Savage trying to tell his team here as now they're down 18? They were down 9 coming into the second half. And now, I mean, there was an explosion of offense by the Fords. You got your own offense into a little bit of a rhythm. But, I mean, there's a couple corner threes that were hit by Woodard in that third quarter that kind of helped the Patriots here. But, what else could Coach Savage try to tell his team to try to make them fight back and maybe have a chance of coming back in this game?
I would say something that was quite glaring was the amount of turnovers and unnecessary turnovers, just like errant passes or passes to guys who were blatantly covered. So that's something that they need to limit in this fourth quarter if they even want to get back into this game.
As Simon is going to drive, pass was deflected by Woodard. He'll give it over to Hedge, pass over to Oderbein, and now the Patriots are going to get set up here. Again, right there, Seidman trying to drive. Gannon was wide open from beyond the arc again. They just decided not to kick it out to him. As that shot rang off the front rim, Seidman got the rebound, and he'll take it up here for the Fords. He's going to take a shot of his own. No good. Wright tried to get the rebound. No luck with that one. Ray gets it. Seidman runs across court to pick off the pass. Didn't work.
And passes like that, you're just killing the guy who's receiving your pass when you blatantly throw that, and you can tell his defender. I mean, like Googie Seidman and Brian Wiener have been good at it all night in anticipating the passes, and passes like that are going to get your defenders killed or your teammates killed.
Absolutely. Here as we have Hedge now with the ball being guarded by Heinrichs. He's going to come right in on. He's going to cut right in on Heinrichs, and that'll give the Patriots their first points of this fourth quarter. As Heinrichs is going to take it up here. He's getting pressed by Otterbein. Interesting to see why they have the young man having so much ball handling. They're going to call a foul here. Great Valley bench not liking it at all. They were trying to get the jump ball as they had the possession arrow. Just did not end up happening. That's their 6th team foul, and that'll be Pranav Hedges' 3rd foul of his own.
Yeah, I mean, Keith Heinrichs kind of got put into that position through the foul that was given to him, and yeah, I think good call by the official.
As now they finally give the ball to Brian Wiener here to take it up the court. He's looking. He'll dish it over to right. He'll pass it to Gannon. They tried to give it to a cutting Googie Seidman. It did not work. Now Hedge will take it up here for the Patriots, looking to push. Heinrichs looking to try to take the charge, and they will call the blocking foul instead. Really looks like this Great Valley offense is going to try to pick on Keith Heinrichs on the defensive side of the court for the Forts.
Yeah, and he is the guy coming off the bench in this lineup currently. And, I mean, it's a fair move, but I think Keith Heinrichs is ready for the pressure.
Absolutely here as he has Markowski. He's guarding Markowski. Markowski gives it over to Woodard. Now to Otterbein. Otterbein's jumper ringing out. Rebound by Heinrichs. He's going to try to take it up. Foul by Markowski.
And that puts him in the bonus. I'm not sure why you do that foul.
Yeah, that's interesting here. I believe that's Markowski's 5th. So I'm pretty sure it's 6 to foul out, if I'm not mistaken.
Nope.
No?
5
in
high school basketball. Yep.
So
5.
that will be Markowski's night is over. He fouls out. So now Great Valley's got to try to dig into some of the guys on their rotation that they're not really used to using here. As Heinrichs will shoot his first end of the 1-and-1. Does not get to go. They're going to call a tie-up foul here on Tommy Wright. We get his 2nd of the game. And they'll give the possession over to Great Valley here. That's interesting to see. Keith Heinrichs got fouled. And, I mean, in the Lower Marion game we saw, he had 2 foul shots. I don't think he made either. And, again, here, the young guy kind of struggling from the line.
Yeah, maybe that's something he needs to work on if he continues to find himself in situations where teams look to foul him as a weak point at the line.
As now we have another foul called here. Again, this is the second one on Kevin Gannon. Now both teams here in the bonus. A lot of quick whistles here by the refs. Maybe some sloppy defense from both teams here in this final stanza. But this will put Hedge on the line here to shoot a 1-and-1.
Yeah, the good thing for Haverford is that although they are in foul trouble, they do find the Great Valley lineup quite shaken up with a lot of bench players in.
Here as Hedge shoots and makes the first end of this 1-and-1 here. Talking about some guys that usually don't get a lot of time. Number 2, Zach Stahl back into the game. And number 12, Marquise Alexander back in. As the Haverford student section tried to scare Hedge, did not work. As now Wright's going to use a little bit of that arm that he has to try to feed Heinrichs. Did not work. Another turnover here for the Fords. And Stahl's going to try to force the issue. Wiener deflected the pass
and
that was intended for Alexander.
That was the wrong call. That went out on Great Valley.
That was. We kind of saw it deflect off here. Going into our stats, people. Ray with a shot beyond the arc will get to go. And Haverford here will take a timeout. That'll cut the Fords' lead down to 11 here with 5:51. A lot of time left, and I'll tell you what, both teams here in the bonus, it may come back down to who shoots better from the line.
Yeah, and Haverford has not scored a single point so far in this fourth quarter. And I think that's what Coach Keith Heinrichs is trying to relax his team about. They need to relax more on offensive possessions. Like a throw like that by Tommy Wright to Keith Heinrichs is kind of unneeded. I think that's probably what he's going to preach right now. And they need to hold the ball a little more.
Yeah, that will be something. It looks like Jack Raich tapped himself in at the scorer's table. Looks like he will get some more action. We saw Raich give a little bit of a spark in the Lower Marion game, of course, in our last broadcast. But besides that, here on the defensive end, he gave a little spark here for the Fords towards the end of the first half. And then, of course, the Fords came out here in that third quarter and kind of lit it up.
Yeah, and he could be he's a big defensive presence for the Fords. Obviously, with having both big guys in for Great Valley, it's big having a guy like Rach in.
Absolutely, as it looks like the Fords are actually going to try to put some more size in. They're keeping in right. They're not taking out right, but they're putting Rach in. Looks like they're taking out Heinrichs and putting in Rach. Interesting move here. Now we kind of have 2 bigs and 3 guards here for the Fords, something we're not entirely used to seeing, as Wright gives it to Seidman, and the Fords look to try to take their time here and get the best shot.
Yeah, and Tommy, that personnel is to just checkmate for the Great Valley coaches and having both big men in.
As they will tie up Seidman at the baseline, and another turnover here for the Fords, having Great Valley now a chance to try to cut this lead into single digits. Actually, yeah, into single digits. Here, as Hedge will take it up here, he's guarded by Wiener. Hedge cuts, dishes it over. They get Alexander there in the corner, over to Woodard. Woodard now looking. He'll give it over to Alexander. Alexander to Ray. Ray faked the 3, got him to go. Lost the ball, though, and they're going to call the block on Brian Wiener. That'll put Ray on the line to shoot a 1-and-1. The Fords bench and Coach Heinrichs absolutely do not like that call at all.
And Tommy, I'd have to agree with him there. I disagree with that call. I think that Ray lost control of the ball and lost control of his own body and ran into Brian Wiener.
I would have to agree with you as well. I didn't think there was any chance they were going to blow that whistle at all.
There really was no contact that caused him to lose the ball.
Yeah, I mean, he really kind of lost it on his way up. You can kind of see he still had his hand in the air, but it's all right. We're gonna have the big man here for the Patriots shoot 2. Or my fault, shoot the front end of a 1-and-1 here, possibly shoot 2. And the first shot does not go. Rebound by Rach. Again, like we said, it might end up coming down to who can shoot foul shots here, and a big miss there by the Patriots big man.
Yeah, and fouling a guy like Ray is advantageous for Haverford because he's obviously not going to be the greatest free throw shooter in the world.
As Wiener tried to force that, Ray gets a nice block for the Patriots, and Hedge is going to try to press the issue here. Cutting around, dishes it over to Ray. He's going to shoot off the front rim. Interesting why they're going to try to go to Ray here to shoot some of these outside shots.
Yeah, and I'm sure Coach Savage is not happy about that with how many he's already missed so far in this game.
Absolutely. Here is now we have Seidman. Dishes it over to Bright. Bright's going to shoot from the corner. Little too much. Rebound by Woodard. Given to Hedge here. Hedge is going to drive towards the Patriot bench. Tries to cross over. Spin. Jumper. Rims out. Rebound by Wright. And he'll give it to Seidman. Creativity there by Hedge, just didn't get the shot to fall.
Yeah, and Tommy, we just talked about Ray keeps shooting those threes. He's currently 1 for 7 from the three-point line, so I'm not totally sure why he's still shooting the rock with how much he struggled tonight.
Seidman got the screen from Rage. He popped off, shot the 3, in and out. Patriots trying to run here. Hedge shot, and they're going to call a shooting foul on Wiener. Hedge will go to the line here to shoot 2.
And that's what we're going to continue to see with both teams in the bonus and soon to be double bonus.
Sorry, it looks like they're calling the foul on Jack Rach. That'll be Rach's second foul of the game already. So now we have the Haverford student section starting to try to get into Hedge's head here with some barking. Like a pack of dogs, and it does not work.
Like a pack of dogs, Tommy.
Like a pack of dogs. Hedge trying to direct what Coach Savage wants here as we got some more substitutions. It looks like Rach will go back onto the bench. We have Wiener, Bright, and Seidman back in. Hedge's second shot misses. The student section gets it back right with the rebound. They'll give it over to Seidman here. The Fords lead now only 10 here with 3:50 left to go in this fourth quarter. Seidman gives it over to Wiener. Now over to Bright. Bright had it going from beyond the arc. He'll give it over to Wiener. Wiener gets his man to miss. He'll give it to Wright in front of the Fords bench for 3, and he hits it. Tommy Wright gets it to go from beyond the arc.
Yeah, that's big. That's Haverford's first points of this fourth quarter, and I'm sure Coach Keith Heinrich is happy to see that.
Absolutely. It's Otterbein here looking to try to get something going. They give it to Hedge. Hedge trying to get it. Ball was on the ground. They're going to call a reach. That was a late whistle by the official here, and some of these fans are not liking it. That'll put the Patriots in the double bonus now.
Yeah, and if you're Haverford, you can't be happy with that because of where Great Valley stands right now. You could continue to forget to foul them, and they could easily crawl their way back into this game.
Looks like there was a technical foul called on Coach Heinrichs. My fault. Looks like it'll be on Brian Weiner. Looks like there was a technical foul called on Brian Weiner. That'll give the Patriots a chance to shoot here. Student section trying to get a little rowdy to get in his head. And he gets it to fall. That is huge there. That is letting your emotions get the best of you there. As now he also gets his shots from the he misses the second one. That's again 1-and-1 there from the line, but now he gets his shots from the my fault. Looks like they're going with the shooting foul first, and now they're going to go with the technical.
Gotcha.
We're going to have Woodard take the shot. He'll make the first one. That's big. I mean this is huge though, because this makes the Patriots now get back into this game essentially, and now the Patriots are in the double bonus with the Fords heading 10 team fouls.
They also find themselves in the double bonus, and yeah, it's a needed timeout there. I think Coach Woodard is trying to, Coach Savage is trying to talk over with his team to kind of break down what they need to do in these last 3.5 minutes.
Yeah, obviously the Fords did not like that foul call, but I mean this will give the Patriots the ball back, and this can get their deficit back down to single digits. And I mean, you have Simon now has 3 personal fouls, and Weiner has 3 personal fouls. I mean, 2 of your biggest ball handlers at this point. I mean, 3.5 left. There could still be a lot of basketball left to play. That could end up costing the Fords down the line.
Yeah, for sure. And for you out there, we're talking to you, people listening. If you were looking for a home, Wagner Real Estate will help you find the home, the right home for you and your family. The real estate professionals at Wagner are Havertown locals who have passed down the real estate savvy through 4 generations. Call 610-446-2300 to set up a consultation with Wagner Real Estate today.
Here, as we have the 5 that are on the court here for Haverford talking it over. Looks like Tommy Wright was giving some encouraging words over to Brian Weiner to tell him to take a deep breath and it's all good and everyone has his back. Here's now the Patriots will look to inbound.
Clear eyes, full heart, can't lose, Tommy.
Clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose. Here, as they will give the ball over to Woodard to start this big, I would call it maybe one of the biggest possessions. As Woodard's going to shoot a 3, does not go. Rebound by Wright, and Weiner will take it up. You'd think, as you have a chance to get it into single digits, that you wouldn't just take a shot with a perimeter shot with a big man like that.
I'm not sure why coming out of the timeout you didn't draw up a better play than whatever we just saw right there.
Yeah, it was not very big on that one from Coach Savage. Anyway, Weiner now with the ball for the Fords, trying to split a double team. He'll dish it over to the corner, over to Wright. Had Ray guarding him. He'll drive. His layup too much. Stalled with the board. He'll give it over to Hedge. To Otterbein in the corner. Back to Hedge. He's going to try to spin, work through, pass it over to Ray. Now over to Woodard. His 3. Gets to go with 2:30 remaining. The Patriots' deficit is only 7, as it is the Fords 42, the Patriots from Great Valley 35.
And Tommy, what has allowed the Patriots to crawl back into this game is the poor offense from Haverford, unable to make shots.
Absolutely, I think we had alluded to it at the half, and we were kind of talking about how in the first half that Great Valley offense really didn't get anything going. They were it looked like they were forcing shots, and then it looked like and then in the second half, in the third quarter, they started to get their offense to go a little bit, but not as much as they wanted to, and they were also turning the ball over way too much, and Haverford was capitalizing on that. And now, they're not turning the Great Valley's not turning the ball over that much. They're playing good, solid team defense. The Fords really only have 3 points in this fourth quarter. And, I mean, a couple foul calls here and that technical that was called on Wiener. I mean, they're right back in this thing.
Yeah. Haverford mistakes really what it has allowed Great Valley to crawl back into this game.
Here, as they're going to try to trap Wiener, it will not happen, but Hedge will bump into him. And there is going to be a foul call here on Hedge from the Patriots, and that'll take Wiener to the line to shoot a 1-and-1.
Yeah, and that's costly because obviously you don't want to put Haverford in double bonus and give them 2 shots a pop.
Another thing that, my fault, they're not calling on Hedge. They are calling it on the big man, Jackson Ray. That's his fourth. So the big man from the Patriots could end up having his night end shortly with the next foul. Wiener shooting a 1-on-1 first shot, does not get to go. They're going to say the ball went out of bounds. Patriots, my fault. No, they're going to call a loose ball foul on Tommy Wright. That's his third. And now the Patriots are going to go over here and shoot 2 foul shots. And interesting here that the Ford's a little uncharacteristic of them from the line not getting their shots to fall.
Yeah, something they did very well in the Lower Merion game. We're not seeing that tonight.
Here, as Ray will shoot 2 regardless here. Here comes his first shot from the line. It looks like the officials were having a little discussion. Ray's first shot will get to go, though, making the deficit only 6. And, I mean, this is big now because any common foul now gives them an opportunity to get 2 points with the clock stopped. As Ray's second shot will get to go. 2. There's Ray's going to scream. They tried to trap Wiener again. It did not work. He's going to use his speed, try to break out of it. He'll give it to Seidman. Seidman looking. Doesn't know what he wants to do yet. He's probably going to take his time here as we have 2:15 left in the fourth quarter. Seidman going to drive, shot, foul by Otterbein. And Seidman will go to the line now to shoot 2. And I mean, it really looks like it's going to come down to who shoots better from the charity strike here.
For sure, and now is the time for Cookie Simon to nail these down and to hopefully give Haverford a little more breathing room. Here's
the student section from Great Valley, which traveled well for them, coming all the way down from Malvern in Chester County. As Simon hits his first shot, I'm surprised they're not getting a little loud here in such a big, important time in the game. I guess that's what happens when you live in Chester County in Malvern, Pennsylvania. Anyway, Simon's second shot will get to fall here, as that'll increase the Ford's lead to 7, 44-37. As Ray tries to drive, he looks, deflected by Wright, doesn't get to go. Simon had the board, lost it. Now Bright trying to get it. They're whistling. They're going to call a jump ball. Possession arrow is with the Fords. The ball will stay with Haverford.
Yeah, that's big for the Fords. I mean, losing that up right there would have not been a good time.
Especially as this lead is now is only single digits here, with it being 7. Be interesting to see what the Fords do here now. Right here to inbound. It looks like they've fouled Seidman. I think that's going to put the Fords in a double bonus, and Seidman will go to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, and that's big. I mean, giving Gugu Seidman 2 shots is pretty huge for the Fords.
Foul is called on Ryan McDaniel. That's only his second of the game, so he's not in that much of foul trouble here. But again, 2 big shots here for Gugu Seidman here to try to increase the Fords' lead to 9.
Big shot coming up here.
Seidman's first shot does get the fall here for the Fords with 1:59 left in this fourth quarter. Both teams in the double bonus. Possession arrow is with the Fords. Seidman's second shot falls smooth like butter. As now the Patriots will get here to inbound. Otterbein gives it over to Hedge. Hedge tries to give it over to Woodard. It gets stolen by Bright. Beautiful layup defense leading to offense. And who else but Haverford's Gorman Bright, who really has been the reason why the Fords are doing anything. Woodard's corner 3, no good. Seidman gets up there and out-rebounds the big man from Great Valley. Seidman now dribbling out of this pressure. They're going to give it over to the corner. And Now the Fords are here are going to probably slow down and try to drain some of this clock here with 1:20 left.
And I'll tell you what, Tommy, the player of the game for the Fords has certainly been Gorman Bright, having a great night for himself, 18 points.
Absolutely here. As we have a timeout called by, it looks like the timeout was called by the Fords. I'm not too sure, though.
Yeah, I think Coach Heinrich's probably trying to relax his team and walk through a penalty kill in a way.
Here is it looked like there was a chance for a turnover there for the Fords as Wiener was getting trapped in the corner by two Patriot defenders here. But, I mean, right there, and we were talking about it, and you did say the player of the game has to be, for the Fords, it has to be Gorman Bright. I mean, he came out of the locker room in the second half and just started shooting the lights out of this gym from beyond the arc. I mean, he made 3 straight threes in the matter of 2 minutes. And after there, you know, Haverford started letting Great Valley get back into this game, and then Bright got a big steal there off of Woodard for one of the big men. You know, what we were kind of talking about, maybe they'll start to trap the big men from Great Valley once they start to get the ball. And that's exactly what Bright did. He hopped on it, jarred the ball loose, and then he basically had himself in just the basket and went up and laid it in here to make the lead now 11 for what it is.
Yeah, and you got to love the performance. You got to love Coach Heinrich's loving the performance. I mean, Gorman Bright only had 5 points in the last game, had big points at the end of the game, but if you're Coach Heinrich, you'll love to see the depth that you have in scoring.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, the first 2 games, it was really, really headlined by Googie, Seidman, and Brian Wiener, you know, really coming in and, you know, carrying this Fords offense, really dictating the pace for them. But, I mean, right here, we saw early in the game, they let Gorman Bright kind of become the primary ball handler, and then it kind of jump-started his offensive production here for the Fords. As the inbound goes to Wiener, they're going to try to trap him here with their big man. Wiener's going to be able to kick it out to Seidman, and now I think we're just going to start playing the foul game.
And the Fords are okay with Googie Seidman shooting the ball. I think that's an advantageous position for them.
Absolutely. That is good for him. That's going to be Ryan McDaniel's third of the game. 1:03 left here. I mean, at this point, I don't want to, you know, put any announcers' jinx in the air here, but a lot of things can happen. But right now, it kind of looks like the Patriots are just, you know, going to try to play the foul game here and then just let this clock run out. And the Fords will leave Younger Gymnasium today 3-0 and 1-0 in Central League play, get another good win against a quality opponent in District 1.
Yeah, and
as Seidman misses his second free throw, does not get to go. Otterbein will take it, try to go coast to coast. They're going to call a charge. Brian Wiener finally gets a call. And that'll be a Patriot turnover.
And, Tommy, we talk about how close this fourth quarter was. I mean, at one point, it was a 5-point game, and now it's that small lead has grown immensely to 12 points.
Yeah, as it looks like head football coach Luke Dockery is going to clean up a wet spot on the court here. As the official said, stop. We need that. And Coach Doc said, you know what, I'm right there. Kudos to you, Coach Doc. We love you over here at Haverford Sports Media. Right to inbound the pass to Wiener, and he's going to lose it after a great play on the defensive side, hustling and setting his feet to force a turnover. He's gonna have a costly one of his own here with 56.6 left. Ford's up by 12. Patriots have a chance here to maybe hit a 3. Woodard, that'll be a 2 if it goes. Doesn't go anyway. Wright gets the rebound. He'll give it to Seidman. Seidman looking. Give it over to Wiener. Wiener will give it back to him. Now you got to assume the Fords here. Seidman got trapped. Doesn't matter. They'll give it over to Bright. The Fords at this point are just going to avoid the traps as much as possible. Just pass the ball around and just try to dribble the rest of this one out. Here's Seidman trying to get trapped by the Fords bench. Looking. He's just going to call a timeout. It looks like they're going to actually call a 5-second. And that'll be a turnover here for the Fords. It'll give the Patriots another crack here to try to dig into this lead.
Yeah, and that was a smart play by Googie Seidman. He tried to take a timeout, but obviously he just didn't have the time.
The 3 by Stahl does not get to go. Wright tried to get the rebound. Instead, Seidman got it. And ladies and gentlemen, I believe that's going to be all she wrote here. Seidman's going to push away McDaniel. He's going to dribble away here. He's past the half-court line. And the Fords are just going to dribble the rest of this one out. And that'll be it. Your Haverford Fords, ladies and gentlemen, the final score will be 49-37 as they take this one over the Great Valley Patriots. And the Fords will improve to 3-0 in the season and 1-0 in league play. Now the Patriots will have to go play in a tough Chestmont American division here for the rest of their season, but they will go to 2-1. They will suffer their first loss of the year.
Yeah, and big win for the Fords. They stay undefeated.
Absolutely, that's big for them. Our player of the game is obviously Gorman Bright. Shot the lights out and the start of the second half to really lead the Fords to this win. We'll try to see if we can get a post-game interview for him, but that'll really be almost all she wrote here. But please stay tuned. We'll try to get some post-game interviews for you.
Hello, we are back. Post-game interview with the man of the out. We said you were the player of the game, Gorman Bright. 18 points?
Yes.
There, you're talking to the mic.
It's something new, getting adjusted to varsity. This is my first year getting substantial minutes in a varsity game, but I'm definitely adjusting now. Coach is helping me. Big shout out to Coach Mike showing after practices and stuff like that.
Yeah, like we talked about 2 nights ago, Lower Marion, you had a big final shots, free throw wise. So, like, what was going through your head in those moments?
Just finishing out the game strong. It's not really thinking too much. I know what I got to do, so I'm trying to execute.
And then did you feel like the team was trying to feed you because you were like the hot hand at the moment this game?
Probably. It's just I think I was just in the right spots at the right moment. So I was just getting those shots up, and that's what we worked on in practice. So.
All right, you got anything else to say?
No, just shout out to my coaches and everybody that been helping me along the way.
All right, thanks. Great game.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today. Roll forwards.